Hello. We're back in the storage unit. As you know, I've told you a couple months ago, I went ahead and got me a storage unit. As you can see, now this is stuff. Let's see if I can swing this thing. I'm not done this very often, but I'm starting to fill things up. As you can see, this is from my downstairs, my garage, my family room. This is the area I'm freeing up. Now, thank goodness I actually have a storage unit. Because what I did today, I went ahead and made a pretty darn major purchase. A friend of mine contacted me that she needed to get rid of some stuff. There would be some video games, some Hallmark ornaments, different stuff. I'm going to show you a little bit of that, but I'm going to show you, first of all, what I bought here, okay? I'm going to go ahead and turn it around so you'll stop seeing me talk, but you can kind of see what's going on, okay? All right, so here is the whole purchase from this table all the way on to this blue tote. Everything you're going to see in this is $350 purchase. Now, some of this you're going to look at and you're going to say, Chris, why did you buy this? That's some long tail stuff. That's some non-valuable stuff. It was kind of one of those deals where I had to take it all to get it. And I let the person know that if I was going to take some of this stuff, I was going to take it for cheap. Okay? Now, some of it I paid up for. I didn't mind paying up for certain things, but other things I didn't. All right, so first of all, we got this tote right here. And I'm not going to open all this. But as you can see right here, this is all Thomas Kincaid plates and stuff. They do have their all certificate. Yeah, you know, I'm not big on plates. Said not to buy them, but like I said, it was part of the deal. So that'll be dealt with as it is. Those don't look horrible price-wise, but, you know, they're probably long tail, that type of stuff, but it's already in the tote. So what I'll do in that case, I'll take pictures of the items, and it'll go right back in that tote until it sells. So that's the way I can handle that. Okay, I got three guitars here, the Wii guitars. This is Aerosmith, a Fender Stratocaster, and a Gibson. The Aerosmith, I think, went for about 30 plus shipping or so. I don't know what the other two is. I haven't had much time to look some of this up. This is a box of Hallmark ornaments and some Bradford Exchange, Thomas Kincaid. I have not gotten to look through all this. This is kind of one of the items where I said, I'm not paying much for this because I don't know what's there. I'm buying a pig and a poke. So this is not something I really paid up for, neither the plates. I'm showing you the worst stuff first, and then we'll get to the better stuff. Then you can see here, I bought, this is a Vera Bradley big bag. But inside the Vera Bradley big bag is other, hold on, let me set you down. Well, I'll talk to you. But anyway, you're just going to trust me. Inside here is about 5 or 6 more Vera Bradley bags of different sizes. Mostly big like this one. So, you know, you figure it out. I looked these up. Generally, they go for about 25 bucks a piece. There's 4 or 5 in there. You do the math. This is more Hallmark, pretty much straight up Hallmark ornaments. I'm not worried about listing it right now. I'm not worried about pulling with it. Matter of fact, some of it's going to go in a yard sale for $1 a piece. And that's how we're going to move some of that. More Hallmark ornaments. Another whole box of that. Now, you're at this point, you're like, Chris, what did you do? This is 350 bucks, and I can't even figure out where your money is. Well, down here in this tote, I'm not going to dig it out, but I'll tell you, there is a PlayStation 2 console, an original Xbox console, and Xbox 360. Now, the 360 is not worth a whole lot. There is a ton of controllers and stuff like that. There are some GameCube controllers, so that's what I'm tipping you off on. There is a couple GameCube controllers, so you're looking at, what, 40 bucks right there in GameCube controllers. Original Xbox, it's got all the goodies and all that. So I'm hitting to what I'm getting to. So this is a whole bag of DVDs, but outside of being a whole bag of DVDs, most of them brand new, sealed, There are some Xbox 360 games in here. Let me see if I can find something to satisfy that. Here is an Xbox 360, but there are a couple of better games. You know, Brothers in Arms. There are some 360 other games in here. There's more. There's not a bunch in there, but there are some. This is where the bulk's coming in. I know I've talked for 5 minutes and you've not seen anything really that great, but it's going to get better. I promise. This is the good stuff, the GameCube stuff. This is where the money's at. Right there is some money. There's some money, but these two right there. The great thing about all these games that I'm going to show you, they're complete. The discs are great. This is a whole bag full of PlayStation 2 and GameCube games. Let me see if I can pull up. You take even this game here. Now, you'll think because this is a sports game, this is worthless. Look it up. I challenge you to look this up. This is a $35 game plus shipping. It is complete. Even got the Get Me a card. There's the thing. This looks like, you know, pretty much just played a couple times, put back. There's $35. Of course, you know, Melee, Sunshine, that type of thing. But there are other GameCube games in here. You can see Star Wars Clone. There's Need for Speed 2 Pursuit. These are all complete. You got the whole Madden Collector's Edition. That's not huge money, I know. You got Sealed, the Blue Knight Trilogy there. The rest outside that is games. They're all PlayStation 2. Yes, quite a bit of them are sports. I'm not going to pretend, but there's a lot of stuff that's non-sports in here too. As you can see, Harry Potter. There's just a lot of games. So there's a lot of PlayStation 2 there. What? I mean, literally, I ain't kidding you. This bag is ridiculously heavy. There's literally probably 100 PlayStation 2 and GameCube games in there. All right, so finally, what's this bag here? You may ask, and you may not ask. I don't know what you're not asking or not asking. But as we dig through here, can you see all that green? It's not all cash. But this is original Xbox games. This whole bag of probably, once again, 100 games. And you do have games that are worth money. In here, there's not a lot of heavy hitters for the original Xbox series. I am a huge fan of original Xbox series, but there's not any heavy hitters as much. There's a few in here. There's Simpsons, Hit and Run in here. There's some other stuff in here. I didn't see Futurama. I know a couple other heavy hitters, and I didn't see it, but there is quite a few $10 games in here. You know, that type of thing. But there's tons and tons. Let's see what do we got here. We got a stack here. Okay, I'm going to show you right here. You think, well, Chris, once again, these are sports games. Look up at that NBA Street 2 for Xbox. I don't know what Terminator goes for, but look that game up. And you'll be surprised. That's probably a $15, $17 game there. Once again, there's over 100 games in that bag. Like I said, there's a guy I deal with some. He'll give me $1 a piece for a lot of these games because he flea markets and stuff. He sells them for, say, $3, a little bit more maybe a piece. He gets to make a couple bucks. I make a couple bucks. There's a ton of stuff here. Like I said, $350 for it. I've just done, thank you, like, for cutting off. Always cuts off when I don't want it to. But it cuts back on because I said to cut back on. But also a neat thing here. Never seen this console. It's a Tournament 1000 Unisonic. Needs a little cleaning. But from what I know of everything else here that's well taken care of and all, I have no problem thinking it's going to be fixed. It it's another $35 or so. You can look up. There's actually a decent sell-through rate. It's kind of a Pong type thing because you can see the type things it offers. Tennis table, hockey, soccer, squash, practice, that type of thing. Anyway, folks, I'm very excited about this type purchase. I'm very excited that somebody reached out to me to make this purchase. I think there's quite a bit of money to be made here. Like I said, I can show you the GameCube games alone are going to be my money back pretty much. And then all the rest will be profit. Yes, some of this, the ornaments and stuff, will take a little bit of time. Like I said, I have a sale usually in October. If you know anything about me, in October I have a sale where I sell all this stuff. I'll sell the ornaments, a lot of them for $1 a piece. I mean, you look, honestly, that's a lot at $1 a piece. And they'll sell. People want stuff for Christmas. They'll want this cute little stuff here. They'll want bounce pass here. But there's a lot of religious type ones in here. You know, there's quite a few bears and stuff. But there's religious. Now, I looked him up. He actually, you know, will list. And when the time comes, Mr. Potato Head will sell. Like I said, I'm not anxious to list all that stuff. But I think it's a pretty good buy. Let me know in the comments what you think of this buy. Once again, it's a little bit different video than what we got. Like I said, here's kind of a full view of what all I've moved out so far. 100% of everything you see was moved out by me. And there's quite a bit more to go, unfortunately. We'll see in about a month or so where we're at. Hopefully, we got to knock out some of this. We'll work on it. You can see. As always, thanks for watching. I'm probably going to stick on some what solds to the end of this video. Because we haven't addressed any what solds. And I know some of y'all like that type of stuff. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of this buy? Even if you think it stinks, let me know that. Thanks for watching and have a great day. All right, let's go over some things that have sold. Sold this Most Wanted Need for Speed PSP game. It is complete. $12, a little bit over $12 plus shipping on the Need for Speed. If you watched my short the other week, I sold got a whole bunch of DVDs just for $10. These were two of them that was in here. Nothing great here, but they were $5 plus shipping, and also another $5 plus shipping on these. I sold off during the week. It just didn't hit the solds. I did sell both of the Cocoons that are mentioned in the short and the Gunsmoke movies. So we are well into Profitsville. And like I said, a lot of them actually will go to a yard sale that my mother has where they'll be 50 cents a piece. And when you've got technically 7 cents a piece in them, you make really good profit. But everything's already done paid for itself anyway. So it's just more profit. Sold this Google Cloud hat. Paid $1 for the Google Cloud hat. Got $9 plus shipping on the Google hat. Sold another hat here. This is Hensel, I think is how the name. They say the name. Hat. Like a safari looking hat. Nice, great for summer. I recommend if these type hats, you see these type hats, and they have a name to them. A lot of them end up being made in China or something like that. They don't really have a name brand. Then I wouldn't pick those up. But these, anything that's really got a name brand and stuff to it, these type hats will definitely sell in the spring, summer type thing. This is a great time to have this type hat listed. Anyway, $18 plus shipping. This was a dollar pickup at an estate sale. Oh, it knocked down and made a mess. Sold Polo Ralph Lauren. This is a 4XLT long sleeve shirt. I did pay full Goodwill price of $4.99, $19 plus shipping on that. This was a $1 pickup. This was a really good pickup. We got like $35 plus shipping on it. This was $1. New with tags. Austin Reed 100% wool new with tag suit. This is a ladies jacket. With jackets, I always measure the sleeve length too. I do the armpit to armpit, top of collar to bottom collar. But I also add the sleeve length. I think a lot of people are concerned how the sleeves will fall on something that's really nice. A t-shirt, well, a long sleeve shirt or something like that, people aren't as concerned. Sold this Columbia PFG shirt. This was a 50-cent pickup at a yard sale. $10 plus shipping on the Columbia PFG. Sold Covington. I took an offer on this. This was a $1 pickup. Did $8 plus shipping. Not the greatest name brand, so I was fine with $8 plus shipping. And finally, going international. This is a buck and black label. It has a embroidery and all kinds of crazy stuff. $12 plus shipping on this buckle and blue label embroidered shirt.